Our Sunrise Smart Start this Monday begins with breaking news overnight as a 15-year-old girl was shot in the city.
That was just before 12:30 this morning. Police responded to shots fired at East Ridge Road near North Clinton Avenue in a shopping plaza there. About an hour after that call, this girl who was wounded from Wayne County was dropped off the hospital. Police determined she was injured from the shots fired at that initial scene. There are no suspects in custody. We are hearing more elsewhere this morning from the family of a boy who was shot while just waiting in line to check out at a gas station in Henrietta over the weekend.
Shocking and terrifying scene, but the boy's mother tells us that he is back home recovering. Ron Spitzer now shares her insight. She's also live downtown at the jail where the suspect is being held. Ron.
Yeah, guys, the 35-year-old suspect from Henrietta, Reuben Smith, is being held without bail. Now, he's facing multiple assault and gun charges in connection to the shooting that injured the 9-year-old. The victim's mother, Hannah, says her son had just finished soccer practice Saturday morning when he and his father went to grab something to eat at the restaurant neighboring the Speedy Track gas station on West Henrietta Road. She tells News 8 that when they arrived at the store, there was a man outside who came in shortly after them. Hannah, who asked we only identify her family by her first name, says the man quickly became agitated because no one was buying his merchandise before starting a fight with the owner. Investigators say the suspect jumped over the counter, tackling the store owner. In the chaos that followed, 2 gunshots were heard and Hannah's 9-year-old son was hit.
He all of a sudden was like, "Why does my chest hurt?" And he looked down, saw the hole in his sweatshirt, saw blood coming out, and that's when my husband found him. My husband was really terrified. He thought we were going to lose him.
Hannah says her son is doing great despite what could have happened. He did need stitches, but he was sent home that same day. Deputies say Smith is known and a predicate felon. He was arraigned in court Saturday night for assault and criminal possession of a weapon. For now, reporting, Ron Spitzer, News 8.
Ron, thank you. We'll keep following that case as we look ahead. In other headlines, President Trump's border czar Tom Homan will be here tomorrow in Rochester. It was just last month. Homan voiced his support for the RPD officers involved in an immigration traffic stop the day officers broke city sanctuary law protocol when responding to a call for backup from Border Patrol. In a post on social media immediately after, Homan said he stands with these officers and went on to argue sanctuary policies endanger the public and police, saying help is coming. Talking about Rochester. The police union says more details on his visit will be made available soon. Also tomorrow, that will mark 100 days back in office for President Donald Trump's second term.
And on that, a new CBS poll finds that his approval ratings have dropped 8 points since his inauguration. It includes lower scores on what may be considered one of his greatest strengths, the economy. 53% of Americans say they believe it's getting worse. And although 6 in 10 Americans say they do believe President Trump is doing what he promised while on the campaign trail.
The good news is costs are way down, groceries are down, it's all looking good, the tariffs are strong.
And the president gets higher marks on his other top issue, immigration. And with more than half of those surveyed do say they support his administration's program deporting undocumented migrants.
Chaos and carnage in Vancouver, where a driver in a speeding SUV plowed through a crowd, killing 11 people between the ages of 5 and 65. The victims were all gathered Saturday night at a block party for a Filipino heritage festival. A 30-year-old man has been arrested. Investigators say they did rule out terrorism, but note the attacker had a history of mental health issues.
Also a glimmer of hope for Ukrainians following an impromptu 15-minute meeting between President Trump and Zelensky, which happened immediately before Pope Francis's funeral that they both traveled to attend. The Trump administration has been working to broker a deal between Russia and Ukraine. President Trump says that he wants the Russian President, Vladimir Putin, to, quote, stop shooting, sit down, and sign a ceasefire deal. Faculty members here back at home, students and alumni at the Eastman School of Music joined the worldwide observance of Holocaust Remembrance Day yesterday.
You can hear so much of the sorrow and soul there in the sounds of this special performance. That music written by those who perished as well as those who survived the World War II concentration and work camps. The annual event first launched in 2014 under Renee Joles in honor of her father Jerome, who buried bodies as part of a work detail in Romania during the Nazi occupation.
It's a very special event that combines poetry readings with music, and we feature neglected composers who were murdered in the Holocaust, and some modern pieces sometimes that were written to commemorate the Holocaust. In today's climate, when there are so many people who are fractured and not understanding each other and actively disliking each other, and there have been so many wars in recent years, and there still are all over the world, and it's just incredibly important to remember what that means in terms of the loss of human potential.
Why couldn't
this year's event was especially momentous as it marked the 10th anniversary of this local concert. It also featured the world premiere of a piece written by composer Claire Poland. Sunrise traffic here 5 minutes ago until the top of the hour. Still good to go across our busiest roads. There are no major accidents or backups at this point. I'm checking sunrise traffic again in our Greater Rock Sky Eye at 7:25. For now, the weather. Headed out there. Chilly start, warm afternoon.
Yeah, how about Honey Falls? Maybe a little frost on the grass there, as they are starting off below freezing at 31, but most spots, oh, of course, it was just 31. Sometimes my data, when it updates, it goes blank.
Frozen over.
I was about to say, it's so cold the sensor is dead.
It was at 31. Canisius 37. Other spots low 40s. Gets about 70. There will be a lake breeze, keeping those shoreline towns a bit cooler, but most spots do get in the low 70s today. 80s tomorrow, and we're busy. We've got storms coming in the afternoon and evening. So the morning is fine. Really, to about 2-3 p.m. you're good. It's very mild, feels like summer. And then you get the storms coming through late. They're going to be muggy as well. Those storms could be strong to severe, so we'll want to stay weather aware tomorrow. And then turn those temperatures down Wednesday. Thursday, May 1st, a couple of showers working their way back in as we head toward the weekend.
All the showers, all the flowers. Got to have it for the start of the month.
Coming out.
I love
really
to see
beautiful.
them.
That does it for us. Enjoy your Monday, everybody.
Have a great day. Have a great start of your Monday. We are going to be having CBS News up next.